strike union and other trade unions in the days ahead.
In line with measures to fight against COVID-19 and ghost towns in the country, the Bamenda City Council has sealed some shops that failed to open their doors for disinfection. And meantime, hundreds of persons have started visiting the Bamenda main markets to benefit from subsidized goods from the council. Charles Kebwa once more.
The Bamenda City Mayor Paul Achombang, accompanied by the Mayor of Bamenda 1 and 2 councils, in line with the project to keep the city of Bamenda free from the COVID-19 and move to fight against the usual Monday ghost town, has been intensified.
It is a people-oriented exercise. That is why you see the population. That the people-oriented exercise is what we believe in a real planning scenario. That you plan with the people, you dialogue with them, you move along with them, and you see things going. And we'll show that things are going right.
Though shops in Bamenda remained closed in respect to calls from separatist leaders for a traditional ghost town, the Bamenda City Council Authority this Monday, 13th April, defies the regular ghost town and sealed shops that failed to open their doors. After hundreds of persons trooped into the Bamenda main market to do purchase of some commodities like rice, soap and groundnut oil, subsidized by the Bamenda City Council at 50% price reduction.
For 1,200. But when I go to that store now, I go buy that very oil for 500. I don't buy more than 100 cartons of sabon. Now here now. Yes. But that carton I buy maybe like 300 or 350 for 1 cube. But you go now, you go buy 6 tube for 1,000. Yeah. This idea na say this idea na say we must fight hunger. Yes. We must do it. We must fight hunger.
An initiative the Bamenda City Mayor Paul Achombang Temeng said he is envisaging a possibility of maintaining the action and to kill the ghost town phenomenon till activities resume in Bamenda.
The SGO for FACO, Emmanuel Ngamba Ledu, in collaboration with the Limbe City Council and the divisional councils, has launched a sensitization campaign on the essence of face masks to all Cameroonians. The campaign was enforced with the distribution of over 2,000 face masks given to the people as leading example. Kuma Honore with details from Limbe.
In line with the Prime Ministerial decision reinforcing the strict use of face masks in public offices and public gatherings, the Senior Divisional Officer for FACO, Emmanuel Ngamba Ledu, in collaboration with the 3 subdivisional councils, has embarked on a sensitization campaign in Limbe to reinforce the use of face masks in FACO division. The exercise, which took the Senior Divisional Officer and his collaborators to the markets, motor parks, and some strategic positions in Limbe, was characterized with the distribution of free face masks to the population. Addressing the populace, Emmanuel Ngamba Ledu cautioned parents and guardians not to send their children to hawk in the streets.
The wearing of face masks has been made compulsory by government. So this morning we are out to sensitize everybody and make sure that in all open places like markets, motor parks, streets, and off licenses, everybody is wearing his face mask. I can say we are quite satisfied because, as we see, nearly 80% of our population effectively wear their face mask. And for the 20% who have not been able to afford a wearing mask, we are distributing free of charge with the support of the city council. We are astonished by the number of school children found in our markets. And I want to call on all parents in FACO division that school children shall remain at home. They should not be found in markets. And as from tomorrow, we are going to send a team to take all these school children in markets to police station.
On his part, the city mayor of the Limbe City Council, Mutanga Andrew Monjimba, reiterated that the free face masks distributed to the population should serve its purpose.
They should always put on their mask to protect themselves and protect their neighbors or people around them. And if we have all of us supposed to do that, we will send away the COVID-19 from our municipality.
The population was equally advised on the need to keep the face mask in good hygienic conditions. The exercise will continue in the days ahead in the other subdivisional councils in Fako division.
Some Cameroonians have expressed increasing fears in visiting hospitals amidst the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. In the economic capital, Douala, many are skeptical. Our reporter, Tabi Claudine, sampled some opinions and now reports.
The outbreak of the COVID-19 virus in Cameroon, and Douala in particular, has created a fear for hospitals in the minds of the inhabitants of the city of Douala. To some, going to the hospital when they are sick might expose them to the risk of getting infected of the virus, or they might be given a wrong diagnosis with regards to the ailment, while reiterating to the fact that government does not subvent for the treatment of COVID-19 patients.
The people are afraid to go to hospital because it has been known that when they go, they pay 300 francs a day. That the government is not giving them any subvention. And that is true. That's why they are running. That's the most important thing. Okay. The problem with those who are sick at the moment, they don't like to go to hospital because they believe that every doctor that is there is also touching the people who are COVID connected.
To others, though they fear being infected in the hospital, it is necessary to go to the hospital when sick.
Par rapport aux malades qui refusent d'aller à l'hôpital, c'est juste parce que, comme on se dit, on est en Afrique et tout le monde n'a pas la même mentalité. C'est-à-dire que chacun se dit que peut-être en arrivant, on va le bloquer en disant qu'il a le Covid-19. Je sais pas, chacun a sa façon de réfléchir. Hein. Ça m'a fait en moi de voir. Mais ça n'empêche, si je suis malade, je dois aller à l'hôpital. Okay. Oh, pourquoi je n'irai pas? C'est là-bas qu'on diagnostique et on me dit ce que j'ai. Tout le monde n'a pas la même mentalité, donc à chacun de juger comme il peut. Si malade vraiment qu'il est à l'hôpital, se faire consulter, on ne peut pas te retenir à l'hôpital si tu rentres ton gré. Si tu n'es pas malade, tu rentres à la maison. Okay. Sinon, on ne peut pas retenir même des gars de malades d'abord. Donc c'est pas obligé, vraiment, ça ne va pas être ordinaire.
The General Supervisor of the District Hospital of Mbange in the Douala 5 municipality urges patients to get diagnosed and followed up by appropriate conventional institutions.
Les conseils que je peux donner à toute personne qui doit se rendre à l'hôpital, déjà quand on se sent mal, on sait que l'endroit idéal pour avoir des soins, c'est à l'hôpital. Donc n'ayez pas peur, commencez déjà par prendre les mesures qui s'imposent et qui sont données par le gouvernement. Il faut déjà bien se laver les mains et il faut porter un masque pour que vous vous protégez et vous protégez également tous ceux qui sont autour de vous. Si vous vous sentez mal, n'hésitez pas, venez à l'hôpital. Ce qui est sûr, on va s'occuper de vous, on va vous interroger. Si jamais vous présentez même les signes de Covid, il y a des numéros qui sont là, on peut vous mettre d'abord en observation et après l'observation, on va vous référer dans les structures qui sont agréées et au sein de ces structures, on va vous faire des prélèvements et après le prélèvement, on va vous donner les résultats. Après l'obtention de ces résultats, vous saurez si vous êtes atteint du Covid ou alors si vous n'êtes pas atteint. Donc ne restez pas à la maison en disant que non, vous venez pas à l'hôpital.
Though the fear be real and probably justified, it is imperative for the population to get proper medical checkups by qualified medical personnel in hospitals.
And it is with regret that the Cameroon media announces the death of their colleague Flora Z of Equinox Radio and Television. She was reported dead last night after a sudden health crisis. Eileen Sama with details.
Christelle Flor Azugaze passed away on the night of Monday, the 13th of April 2020, as she was being rushed to hospital in Logbaba in Douala Littoral region. Prior to her demise, Flora Zay was said to be well and present at her workplace. presented her show and left the media house at noon and was reported dead at night after a complaint of stomach ache. According to reports from Cameroon Infonet, Flora's dad narrated the events that led to her death, revealing that his daughter complained of vomiting throughout the night of Saturday, April 11th, that she felt sick with severe pains in the stomach, and he went on to employ the services of a nurse to administer first aid, which turned abortive. Thus, she was rushed to the hospital in Logbaba, where she passed before the doctor could carry out a proper medical check. The late Flora Zay was the promoter of the project Miss Blackie, geared at fighting against depigmentation. She served at LTM Television before moving to Equinox Radio Television, where she worked for 2 years and was the presenter of the radio program Vous êtes nos mesdames, until the day of her death. The sudden death of Miss Blackie, as she was fondly called, has upset many of her fans, friends, colleagues and acquaintances who are now left to mourn her. Flora Zay died at the age of 30, leaving behind a 5-year-old daughter.
Out of the country, a recent bill passed by the Turkish parliament will see 4,000 or 45,000 prisoners temporarily released to limit the spread of COVID-19 in prisons. The bill equally emphasizes that a similar number will be freed permanently under plans proposed to cut down overcrowding in prisons. Nora Kakebi reports.
Turkish MPs have agreed to free nearly 1/3 of the country's prisoners to reduce the threat from COVID-19 in jails. But the move was criticized for excluding government opponents imprisoned on terrorism charges. Those convicted of or awaiting trial for terrorism offenses, including many government opponents jailed on what have been slammed as trumped-up charges, are exempted from the amnesty. Justice Minister Abdulhamid Gul said on Monday that 17 prisoners from prisons had contracted the coronavirus, including 3 who died. However, overcrowding has led to fears the virus could exacerbate an outbreak in the country's 355 prisons. Turkey's Human Rights Association on Monday called for those prisoners with critical illnesses, above 60 and pregnant women or those jailed with their children to be released. According to the Council of Europe data, Turkey is Europe's second biggest jailer with 294,000 inmates, which also has the continent's highest number of older prisoners, aged 65 years and above. This age group is among those subjected to a government order to stay at home.
The Burundi Football Federation has announced the temporary suspension of the country's domestic football in the wake of COVID-19, signaling the complete shutdown of local competitions across Africa as the country records its first few cases of the pandemic. As at April 13, Burundi was among the only 4 African countries around the world still playing football games. Dolingonde reports.
The COVID-19 pandemic might have been taken lightly in Burundi, but not anymore. The tiny East African country has finally bowed down to the situation at hand through the country's Football Association Executive Committee, which suspended all football activities in the country. The Burundi Football Federation has suspended local matches at all levels 2 weeks after the country confirmed its first case of the COVID-19. The Executive Committee of the Burundi Football Federation is set to meet after 2 other cases of COVID-19 were reported by the Ministry of Health, causing this change in the calendar of the championship. Before this latest development, Football 256, a local media outlet, discloses Ndikuriyu Reverend, the Burundi Football Association president, had warned clubs against missing league and cup games in the disguise of COVID-19, stating they will suffer sanctions, but all that now seems to be out of the window. The Burundian football calendar continued on Easter weekend, with the President's Cup taking central stage. The country currently has 5 confirmed cases of the coronavirus, and according to the federation, after analyzing the competition, it had seen that it was still possible to achieve the May 30th deadline to submit finalists for international competitions. It said it was rearranging the calendar and would resume local competition before the deadline. Burundi was the only only African country that was still having football matches despite the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, and it was among the least African countries to record cases of the virus.
The Democratic Republic of Congo has recorded new cases of Ebola virus weeks after no new case had been reported. The new case comes to cancel the decision of the World Health Organization on announcing Congo Ebola-free. Fon Quinta reports.
At a time when the world is battling with COVID-19 pandemic, the Democratic Republic of Congo, that has been hit hard by Ebola, recorded 7 new cases and 2 deaths days before the World Health Organization had to declare the country Ebola-free. The country on Sunday recorded a new case of the Ebola virus in the city of Beni that has been epicenter of the disease with the highest number of cases since the outbreak of Ebola. The newly reported case is said to be a 7-year-old girl who had started showing symptoms after visiting a health center, as reported by the World Health Organization. With the discovery of a new case, officials have dispatched teams to disinfect streets and public spaces in order to prevent further spread of the virus. After more than 7 weeks without a new infection, the country had been due on Sunday to mark an end to the pandemic until a new case was confirmed on Friday in the eastern city of Beni. Since the outbreak of the Ebola virus in the Democratic Republic of Congo on August 1, 2018, more than 2,000 lives have been lost, with over 3,310 cases reported.
Prisoners in Indonesia's North Province have started prison riots after a prison guard reportedly exhibited symptoms of COVID-19. The call is still open for countries to decongest prisons to prevent the spread of the deadly coronavirus between inmates. Nora Kakebi.
Fire to an overcrowded prison on Indonesia's Sulawesi Island during a riot which erupted late Saturday and Sunday morning over measures imposed to contain the COVID-19. Officials say they went on rampage and started fires, and other inmates joined the protest, and it turned violent, but there were no reports of deaths. Preliminary investigation reveals that many inmates, mostly drug offenders, were angered by restrictions on family visit and was still on grounds that a guard presented with symptoms of the COVID-19 which posed a threat to inmates. The head of Justice and Human Rights of Provincial Office, Lukman So, said hundreds of police and soldiers were deployed to take control of Tuminting Prison in Manado City, which is designed to house 490 inmates but now has more than 550. The spokesperson for the Directorate General of Corrections at the Justice and Human Rights, Rika Aprianti, says Indonesia has released more than 36,550 inmates in a desperate bid to stop coronavirus from rampaging through its notoriously overcrowded prison system. There has been no confirmed case of COVID-19 inside Indonesia's correctional facilities, but a source inside Tuminting Prison said officials were trying to hide the start of the outbreak. There are prisoners with symptoms but no testing kits, so they can't confirm a thing. Indonesia has recorded 3,800.
This edition of Prime News on My Media Prime, a quick reminder of our top stories. Bike riders in Bamenda have taken to the streets to decry what they term exploitation and poor treatment, and they also called on the release of arrested bike riders and bikes impounded. The SDO for FACO, Emmanuel Ngamba Ludu, has launched a sensitization campaign on the importance of face masks amidst the health crisis. He was speaking today with warning messages to all those who go against government orders. The news was produced by Ewane Eli Nolinga, coordinated by Lasha Kinsley. My name is Genda Peojin Blanche King. Thanks for watching. Join us tomorrow, God willing, at 6:30 for another edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. Stay tuned. The special Prime Hour program comes up next with Leonard. Good night and stay safe.